Oh my goodness, thank you, thank you, thank you. I don't know, but God does. I don't know, but God does. First time I heard that phrase was from Reverend Dorothy Pearson. I don't know if any of you here in this room remember Reverend Dorothy Pearson, Unity minister. She was when I came into Unity, which was like 1987, and first started taking Unity classes, and she and her husband, Phil, were ministers in Sacramento. And she was at that time, I'm pretty sure within the Unity movement, and don't quote me on this, but she was the only person that was still alive that had known Charles Fillmore. So we got a lot of awesome education and wisdom from Dorothy. She actually, when she went to Unity Village to study for the ministry, she rented the apartment above their garage. At that time, he was married to Cora. Myrtle had passed. And Dorothy was a force to be reckoned with when it came to spiritual principle. And given that they were in Sacramento, and at that time I was in Palo Alto, I got to spend quite a bit of time at regional meetings with her. And she was also on my licensing and ordination team when I was in seminary. That was a trip, because she would try and trip you up. I don't know, but God does. The number of times that I heard her say that opened up something in me. It opened up a place of faith that was deeper than what I had known before. I don't know, but God does. And then come to find out, there's a prayer. I don't know, I've seen this going around the internet lately, and I can't find who wrote it. But so did you know there's a prayer called the I don't know prayer? It's very spiritual. You just go off somewhere quiet and hidden, and you walk right up to the heart of God and you say, I don't know. I love that imagery. You walk right up to the heart of God and say, I don't know. I don't know where to go from here. I don't know what is happening or why this is happening. I don't know how to process this. I don't know what to do with these emotions. I don't know how to handle this situation. I don't know what page the rest of it is on. It covers a lot of I don't knows. And then with whatever dusty little sand grain of faith you have left, you say that God knows, and you leave it there. And God most certainly hears that prayer. I don't know, but God does. And then you allow your heart to open up. Allow your heart to open up to listen, to be quiet. God can't hear our prayers if we keep taking them back. God can't hear our prayers if we don't let go and allow ourselves to be still and get out of our egoic mind and quit trying to fix things, instead to allow things. How many of us, out of a need of just being uncomfortable in that space of allowing, that we have to jump right in and take care of it and fix it? Any of us do that? It's not because we think we're smarter than infinite intelligence, unless maybe we do. I don't know. That's your journey. Probably, as I if I wanted to take a look, but this is not a therapy session, I may jump into that sometimes. Where I think I know all the answers. I've got to hurry up and make a decision because heaven forbid we should sit in the unknowing for a moment. Heaven forbid that there might be space in the room to just allow for the quiet and the silence so that we can hear Spirit speak, so that we can feel that guidance, so that we can go into that place that John goes into when he plays. You can see it emanate from him. And we all know that place. From rivers in the ocean, sometimes the way forward isn't clear at all. No bright signs pointing you along, just a vague sense that something's pulling you ahead. Following a path you can't see takes trust, not necessarily in where you're going, but in yourself. It's a little like walking through fog. You can't see far, but you know each small step is enough to show you the next. On the way, you'll get hints, a friend's advice that clicks, a random conversation, a feeling you just can't shake. Slowly, the shape of the path begins to emerge, and those tiny nudges will start to feel like proof you're moving in the right direction. So lean into it. Some of the best journeys are the ones that aren't planned, where each day brings a little more light to show you what's possible. The unknown doesn't have to be something to fear. It can be where you find yourself one step at a time, following the path that you can't see. I don't know, but God does. The reason, or at least one reason why I'm a little distracted this morning, I was on a Zoom call with Unity of Longmont, Colorado, which is where I came to Merced from. I pioneered what we call in Unity. Some people call it church planting, beginning a church. In Unity, we call it pioneering a Unity ministry. And I did that in Longmont, Colorado 18 years ago. Today is their 18th anniversary. And as I was just reflecting on this during meditation, this is my 13th anniversary here this month. So it's their 18th anniversary. So 19 years ago, I moved from California to Colorado. And I was right in that place. I don't know, but God does. I just know that I was called to lead my ministry in Antioch and go be with my family who had just moved to Colorado about 9 months before. Leaving an established ministry into the unknown. And I took that time being there, finding my heart, listening for guidance, traveling around the area of where was a Unity ministry being called for. There had been one in Longmont many years before, but they had closed. And did I tell you I was on a Zoom call with them? I think I did, right? I'm not totally in my body, in case you can't tell. And so we were talking about some of that journey. And I told them, I met with previous members of the former Unity ministry there, and they were tired. They had worked so hard to make that ministry work, and it had closed a few years before I got there. And they just didn't, they loved Unity. They're, yay, you're here, but we're tired, so we're not gonna help. And fair, totally understood that. And I always said that Unity Longmont Spiritual Center was begun with coffee shop flyers, because that's how we began. And they're still together. There's a few of them, but they are holding that light, and they meet on Zoom. It's virtual. They don't meet in person, except for occasional gatherings. But that is an example of trusting and following the I don't know, but God does. And the hundreds of people that have passed through that ministry throughout the 18 years have brought their own light and carried on their light, and has been a point of healing and brought people together in the sweetest of relationships. Like this Unity ministry and every Unity ministry and any gathering of heart-centered people around the world who come together with a grain of sand of faith and listens to guidance for what is next, to be uncovered, to be led forward, to allow our hearts to stay open to possibilities. You don't know what kind of legacy that you have been leaving in this world. You don't know the number of people that have been blessed by your smile, by your kindness, by your assistance in holding open a door, of complimenting someone just randomly. The smallest of things. We do not have to be able to see the whole picture. We just need to have faith that Holy Presence is moving us forward, that there's a forward impetus in the cosmos, in the ethers, as Charles Fillmore used to call it. We don't have to have all the answers. We just get the opportunity to stay as centered in our heart space as we possibly can. And when we find ourselves slipping and sliding, to just come back to the breath, to just breathe. If you're feeling lost, if you're feeling confused, take a breath, stop, and breathe. And allow yourself to listen. Before I got on Zoom a little bit ago, last week I had pulled an angel card, and it is surrender. Release the false narrative and take back your wings. Surrender. Breathe. Let go. Trust. Have faith. And I went, oh, thank you. I needed that. So throughout the week, I pull an angel card, not every day, but every now and then. And I love the divination. I love the coherence that comes from spirit. I love the messages that just come, the heart-shaped leaf on the sidewalk. For me, it's pennies found in the most random places. Maybe you have your own little signs and wonders that just, it's like my angels are saying, here you go. Here you go. You are not alone. You are not alone. So throughout the week, shuffling and such, and cutting the cards, whatever, they're just lying on my desk. And this morning, I went and decided to print talk material, and I saw the decks lying right there, so I just randomly just grabbed a card. Surrender. Let go of the false narrative. Take back your wings. I don't know, but God does. Holy presence within me knows what is needed and required in any given moment. We walk around in these physical bodies, but they are not the boss of us. Our egoic brain is not the boss of us. It is, if we give it all permission to be, but remember, it is the presence within us and our connection with it that creates our reality. What is it Emmett Fox said? It's gone. God is the only presence and the only power. God is fully present here with me now. God is the only real presence. All the rest is but a shadow. Allow yourself the space and the silence and the faith and the knowing that you are never alone. We cannot possibly ever be alone. Again, Emmett Fox. How many of you are familiar with the Golden Key? Emmett Fox. Okay. Emmett Fox in the 30s, he was a divine science minister, another form of New Thought. And he wrote this little pamphlet. It's five pages. It's called The Golden Key. And it's based on this principle. When you don't know what is next, when you don't know what the answer is, when you're feeling lost, whatever it is, he said scientific prayer is one of the terms that divine science uses a lot. We call it affirmative prayer. But that the golden key is the key to open up the secrets of your heart. The golden key is the key that you use to surrender and walk into and open your heart and your mind and your arms. And you just turn that key and allow for holy presence to lead you forward. So when you have an issue, when you have a problem, whatever it is, just say to yourself, I golden key it. I golden key it. God within you has the key to open your heart, to be able to listen more deeply to what Spirit is wanting to say to you, to lead you forward. It's such a simple thing. Emmett Fox, in the foreword of it, he says, I have written this statement in 5 pages, but it's so simple. If I could have put it in 5 words, I would have put it in 5 words. God knows. Whatever that God is for you, we call God by many names. Whatever the God of your understanding is that one presence and one power in the universe, within you and around you. Surrender, have faith, and know that it is so. and so it is.